on this thing?
Well, we know everything's always in some kind of vibration at least. Nothing freezes actually nothing.
Yeah,
It's zero until
well. That's one of the
0 degrees Kelvin.
well. That's one of the things that I was listening to on a video about that superfluidity is nothing can actually reach absolute zero.
Nothing what?
Nothing can actually reach absolute zero.
Right. Yeah, it freezes matter. Period.
Yeah.
Freezes everything.
That's why
Absolute
helium.
zero is a number that we come up with.
Nothing gets colder than that. But that's the thing about that that helium is it once it gets down to about the background, I think it was like
It's 3.5 degree Kelvin background radiation.
It's 2.7.
Must have changed.
It's 2.7.
Okay, 2.7.
But
That's not far off.
they got it with like a couple millionths of a fucking degree of absolute zero, and it fucking changed for them, dude. It's straight liquid, a fluid, and it's a fluid because it can move without anything causing friction. There's no friction on it with anything. It was in a glass bowl, and it started leaking through it because it was going in between the fucking the particles of matter in it.
Right.
And that's helium.
Helium did that, huh?
Yeah. It's the only superfluid I think there is. So that accounts for the rest of the matter that's in the universe that they're missing.
Right.
It's seeping through, you know what I mean? Just how gravity is.
Right, dark matter's fucking. It's the matter that's seeping
Helium
through.
is what makes up the fifth dimension mostly, not hydrogen.
It is the second most abundant.
It's the most abundant in that dimension.
Because hydrogen, I mean, obviously just by periodic table alone,
Yeah.
hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe.
Well, hydrogen's probably the second most in the fifth dimension.
It's the first on the periodic table, and then it goes up from there. Helium, lithium, yada yada yada. But out of hydrogen, helium, and lithium come everything else. Nothing else.
Right.
No other elements exist without those three.
So maybe
They birth the rest of the elements.
So maybe it's helium, hydrogen, and lithium in the fifth dimension.
And that's what stars are made out of.
Right. But that would alter their shit some way, you know what I mean? Maybe they're not made of carbon, maybe they're made of fucking whatever the fifth or seventh element is, you know what I mean?
It'd be different. That's what they say. Carbon is just unique to our universe. That's why we always look for other planets that are carbon rich, because those are the signs of life
for us.
In our, right.
That's because all we know is a lot of that, you know what I mean? But life can evolve, fucking, it don't matter, dude. It's gonna.
Yeah, I just smacked all them.
Yeah, those are done. He already ate them.
Not a chance.
You waited way
Between both of you.
I thought you had way more lifesavers than that. I'm talking about bags we need.
No, she got one roll.
Mentos.
You brought one roll.
I got 2 bags of Sprees.
Yeah, let's get them.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right now?
Yeah.
You'll devour them in 5 minutes.
Let me get a bag.
I'll just eat them as I'm talking.
In 5 minutes.
And by the time I get there,
In 5 minutes.
They're gone.
I'll be there. What up?
What?
Neighborhood, whoever it is.
Yeah, no shit.
What up?
This fire's about to get real bright tonight, dude.
We're good after a certain time anyways.
I'm saying.
After that, it's just background fucking traffic coming through, really.
Yeah, don't eat all those either, dude.
That whole front row of houses, though, from fucking that corner of town all the way to that one. fucking.
Fucking knows Chris. And
Yeah, I got
fucking-
Chris on speed dial, guaranteed.
Fuck it.
when we had that fucking meeting,
Oh yeah.
he said his dad was getting fucking call from everybody like, hey, why wasn't I invited? I saw him before you there.
Oh no. That's funny. But yeah, also I want to test physics that we know to make sure it's right, like Newton's law. You know what I mean? We know Einstein is. You know what I mean?
Most of Newton's shit's kind of just
It's
outdated.
it's for macroscopic shit. Not
Yeah,
for, not for quantum
other
theory.
than the laws that he fucking established. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which Newton's account? Newton accounts for like force equals mass times acceleration,
Yeah.
and for every action there's an equal opposite reaction and inertia. For a body of motion stays in motion, unless
Acting on by an outside force.
right.
But they all had a piece, and everybody else built their work from that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
From them being right.
Well, you can explain a lot of things on Earth and how they react by using inertia.
Yeah. Well, she came up with a fucking really good theory that I think is right about she helped me figure out what happens to because everything has potential energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything has a potential energy. This tree, every form of matter has potential energy.
Yeah.
Where does all that go if it doesn't get used?
Right.
I guess recycled into something
It-
that the universe.
The black
gives you no
holes,
other option
that's
but
why there's a
to-
black hole at the center of every fucking universe, galaxy, because it's recycling all of that fucking energy that doesn't get used.
Yeah.
And it's throwing it back into the fucking new universe
Well, see,
where it's needed.
to white holes, you know what I mean? They're theorized, but they don't know where they're at, you know what I
Right.
mean? They can't prove them yet. And that's
why it'd be awesome just to. It's all theoretical fucking.
well,
physics.
that's how we're gonna fucking prove that we're right, is fucking by analysis of something that, you know what I mean? Like how I told you about how the fifth dimension's in a
You can't prove necessarily, but you can
you can
almost prove beyond a shadow of doubt.
right.
that-
You can from observing shit around it. You know what I
Right.
mean? But that's the reason why I think that fucking the higher dimensions are fluid. They're fluid because that's how I came up with it in the fucking when I was sitting in the hot tub. I was sitting watching these jets. These fucking jets were fucking sucking all this fucking water in, and then the other ones were spewing them out, just like black holes do with energy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then, yep, the day after that, we was floating on the river. And I seen a fucking huge rock, but I couldn't see it, but I seen the ripples from it. So I was like, so what if our dimensions are some kind of fluid, you know what I mean? Something to where it's submerged, to where we can't see it. You know what I mean? That would make sense. And then you could see, but if there was something heavy enough, you could see the ripples of it somehow, some way.
You'd almost have to say for sure it's a fluid.
Yeah.
It would have to be. You know what I mean? For it to work, or air of some sort, but it's not air.
Look,
you know what I
well,
mean?
that's what we just broke down earlier. Is fucking air is basically fucking water.
It's true.
It's oxygenated water,
Listen,
dude.
Josh,
Well,
Josh
air-
was arguing with me and was like, no, you're wrong. And I looked over at him and I said, I told him, I said, break it down. So he started breaking it down.
She was
Air
like,
is
It's funny.
air is moisture to an extent, saturated or less saturated.
right. There's two fucking hydrogen molecules and an oxygen molecule together. That is what forms fucking. Oh, well, I guess that's what forms water anyway.
Right, H2O.
But yeah, I mean, that's all the clouds are is water vapor. You know what I mean? Fucking
That's H2O.
right.
Like you said, there's liquid of every single element. Well, yeah. I mean, there's liquid fucking of every single element there is.
And air has liquid in it because when it gets so hot, shit
Condensates.
Yeah.
So obviously there is liquid in the air because heat makes condensation. Mixtures with air, which
Yeah, if you
creates
didn't have any condensation in the air, then it would be
So air is a form
nothing,
of a liquid.
I guess.
You just
Yeah.
can't.
But how do we figure out that
the air
space?
holds the
Moisture.
condensation to
Yeah.
some extent
And then
until
when
it
Until
can't
it's
hold it no
heated
more.
up.
When it gets hot, when heat,
Or it just can't hold anymore.
And that's what
It'll-
storm.
Right. It compresses so much that it has to fucking
release
release
it.
it.
It has to release, just like. See, that's the professor I talked to was talking about his dude. I just told you not to eat all those, bro. We only got 2 bags.
Yeah, I thought you was talking about big bags.
I told you
but-
to
Oh
eat it
my
with
God.
fire.
I had 2 of those.
Told you.
I've never seen you get a small bag of
They didn't have any big ones.
Oh man,
Why do you think
Well-
I got fucking small bags?
it makes sense now. You said we're gonna eat them all.
But when I
real
was
quick.
talking to that professor, that's what his next class is taught on is can we predict solar flares? If you know the critical density of the sun, right? Everything has a critical density before it has to
Right.
release
Before
energy.
it erupts.
If you know the critical density of the sun, you can keep track of it and you can watch it and you can fucking see.
Well, they do keep track of it to some extent.
Right. But there's got to be a better way.
There's
to
like
do
super
it.
flares though and shit too that they're
I mean, it's
yeah, they're still going to be measurable somehow. Predictable.
if we could predict one of his solar flares in his class without being in his class, he'd be like, "You motherfuckers are on to something."
You know something. I don't know what it is, but I want in.
And then
There-
you look at him and say, "That's what I've been trying to tell you."
I talked to the right one for sure, dude, because he got a phone call while I was in the office. He was like, "Man, it's really strange because he just asked me to look at this paper about this and this and this. And it was some shit we were talking about, you know what I mean?"
It's good.
And he was like, "Oh, well, that's also strange. Is the class that I'm teaching has something to do with this and this and this." So I know I got to.
And you tell him fucking. You don't have a fucking clue who he is, other than that day.
I told him, I was like, "Dude, I asked him dude down the hallway, fucking, where the fucking theoretical physicists were." And he said, "Right down there, fucking, look it up on the page."
Yeah, here we are.
Who the fuck is
I
this
was like,
guy?
"Man,
Just
look, I
comes strolling off the streets, construction site, fucking.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, "Look, I don't go to school here, dude. I'm fucking, I got a theory." That's what I told him.
Oh, shit. They don't. Yeah, that's something brand new to them. There, because theories usually only come from theoretical
Well, he-
physicists.
well,
That's where the theories come
Well, he
from.
liked it because he liked the idea because we got an outside perspective on it.
Right. That's what you have to have,
Yeah.
or it's never going to change. It's-
Yeah. They're
That-
focused.
that's-
They're narrow.
Well,
their
they
focus
even
is so
they
narrow.
know that. They know that. They talk about it. You know what I mean? They know that.
And this guy, he's had he had a paper published, and it made the fucking front of the New York Times. So he's pretty fucking
He
popular.
knows something, yeah.
He was interested.
Huh.
He told me I could come back anytime, come back to his office anytime.
Yeah, that says a lot, because usually motherfuckers are going to be like,
Yeah, I told
this
him I was like,
motherfucker, hey, call security.
and I emailed him afterwards, and he emailed me back and shit, dude. It's
No
like,
shit.
yeah, thanks. He's like, since I don't hold regular office hours, just stop by anytime, you know what I mean? And if you're not there, then we can work out a time or whatever. So whenever we fucking got conclusive proof, me, you, and her, we're gonna go back to his office with that proof and show him, like, this is what you need to do. Because he told me, he's like, if you bring me a fucking equation or a formula, we could probably work it out for you.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? You need some kind of, something.
Something. Yeah, that's what you need. You
Well, I can
need
get you something.
you need somebody else to be able to work it out for you,
Yeah.
because they're There's equations for it, for sure.
I'm piecing them together. I mean,
They've got all the equations.
I know they do.
They just don't know how to use them.
I know, but that's what we're for. We have to fucking piece it together to where it's a fucking beautiful fucking simple fucking thing for them, and then for them to fucking figure it out from there.
Yeah.
And that's, dude, the day after I left his office, dude, I was fucking in it. Ask her, fucking, that's all I've been doing, dude, is fucking reading shit, dude, and fucking trying to figure this shit out.
I'm gonna go put my phone on this charger in my truck.
Grab
I
a
feel
couple
like
more
I'm
beers.
fucking. Maybe this acid was pretty good.
Oh, it's definitely pretty good. I told you it was good.
I'm gonna go. When did I eat that? 9:30.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter a little bit.
I don't know. I don't even know what time it is right now.
Well, Saber had to be at work at 9:45, and I ate it about 20 minutes before she had to be at work because I was taking a shower.
So 9:20.
45 minutes. Pretty good. I like it. Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, there's a chair. There's a chair there with a spider nest on it. Do whatever you want to do. Yeah, I told you to bring a couple back. Yeah, I was gonna say, just bring a whole case.
Yep, there was no way I was gonna fucking
Keep
not
warm.
bring the whole case out here. That would be stupid.
See, this is it. How I figured out the shit about the black holes, dude, is I was in the shower. And I put my phone up right where I was reading some shit before I got in there, you know. I put my phone up to where I always put it, nice and secure, up in the top of the shower so I can listen to music. I turn around, dude, this motherfucker falls. Screen shatters. It froze. It wouldn't let me fucking exit out of it or nothing.
You told me that, and the whole time I was thinking, that's the question in the back of my mind. So, is your phone fucked up? But
No,
we never talked
it's
about
fine
it.
now.
We never talked about
It's
it.
just cracked,
Right.
but it still works.
And then
you know
at the
what I mean?
end, though, you was like, kind of shitty, my phone's broke.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you could have fucking, bro, you could have got my attention a little bit better fucking way of fucking, instead of breaking my phone, you know what I mean? I think something pushed it. It wasn't fucking, you know what I mean? It wasn't fucking there. It was secured. Something fucking pushed it to get my attention. and it broke it to get even more of my attention. Because I've never broke a phone before like that.
There
know
you
what I
go. Here's something new.
And then it wouldn't let me fucking move off of the screen that I was on to get my attention some more. And then I fucking sat there and thought about it for a minute. And I was like, everything has potential energy. That's how I figured out the thing about potential energy. Where does that fucking potential energy go if it doesn't get used? You know what I mean? It's going to create the fucking new universes.
Right. Life, death, it's all part of it.
And I was in the shower too, so I was watching the fucking water, the energy go down the drain like a black hole. And it fucking just all came together. Black holes are big fucking recycling bins for energy, dude.
Especially once you get to the fucking level of like consciousness like we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The energy becomes fucking
That's all I see is
Right.
everything in fucking in a form of energy, in a term of energy. You know what I mean? That's all I see anymore
Yeah.
is energy.
that's what it is. That's all it all is energy.
I know it. In a huge fucking infinite fucking cycle, dude. It's just fucking cool that we're here to fucking try to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's all it is, dude. But proving it, you know what I mean? Proving it's the fucking cool thing. Being able to prove it.
But just that it's created something to do this to itself.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts,
It's
dude.
fucking crazy. Like, it don't know what it is, so it's trying to figure it out. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
It's fucking nuts.
Like, let me make a bunch of fucking holograms myself to see if I can figure out what the fuck I am real quick. You know what I mean? That's all fucking aliens are. That's all we are. We're literally projections of the fucking universe. You know what I mean? That's why the simulation theory is right. That's why fucking the Matrix is right. That's why all those theories are right. Is because they are. They don't have the whole fucking thing put together yet.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a hold up.
And that's another one
What
of
it
the,
is, it's what everything, all of it's doing the same shit, dude.
another one of those 7 hermetic laws was there's a law for everything. If it's chance, then there's just a law that hasn't been figured out yet. So everything has a law. We just fucking don't know a fucking lot of them.
Oh yeah.
That's what I.
And
that's,
there's new ones being created every fucking
well,
day.
that's the next part of my theory is the quantum leaps. Once you gain so much energy in this life, you leap to the fucking next dimension where you can fucking figure out all the mysteries of that fucking dimension. You know what I mean? And that reality. And there's fucking 12 of them. We got a long way to go.
Yeah, just like they was talking about. Well, shit, I was just reading about all the self-help books and all that shit, like empowering yourself. Like it's the same fucking concepts.
Yeah. Just for money.
Yeah.
Just for monetary gain, you know what I mean? That's all it is. That's why they're not very successful.
But it's laws.
Yeah.
It's some fucking
They just don't know it.
yeah. It's some fucking
Old ancient
attempt, anyways, at a law. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. That motherfucker too bright or what?
I was just seeing if I had a different perspective.
Well, that's the reason why when you trip at night, it's so much better because there's not as many photons in the air and you can see more shit.
Yeah.
That's why the right at dusk is the best time to be fucking, you know what I mean? Because you can fucking see literally everything. There's just enough light, you know what I mean? And there's fucking not too much.
Yeah, that's why I've always loved fucking the
transition.
transition. It's the most beautiful fucking thing there is.
Josh, what were we talking about the other day when we were talking about how all the stars are connected?
From day to light, what about it? From dark to fucking light, dude, is the
What were we
fucking.
talking about travel through? What was it?
Travels through what?
Remember how we know that all the stars are connected? That little fucking string, we were talking about something. We're on the water. We're at the lake.
I don't remember.
Those strings, what you see are strings. It's just
Well, she's saying that maybe those are the paths that you know what I mean? The ones that we see, maybe that's where we'll find conscious life. It was something along the lines of
That was a good one, too.
something to do with the warmth from the light. You know what I mean?
Oh, because we were talking about how space is so cold.
Right. And those lines are
But-
fucking.
Light creates, light is an energy, and light itself has heat.
yeah.
Light itself has heat.
Well,
So
Light
for us-
creates heat.
Well, see
for
that-
us,
see
what
that-
we
that's
can
the-
see it all connect,
that's the
so
thing
heat
is
has to, just
light-
like it would an electrical
light actually has no heat at all. The light particle itself, it's the object that's emanating the light is what always has the heat.
Right.
So
Well-
whatever that object is that's emanating the light itself, it loses. It's just a wave, just a particle.
Right, but it acts as a particle and a wave at the same time.
Yes,
It's-
but there's no heat.
no,
Is what I'm saying.
No, it's just like fucking refraction and all that other stupid
Right.
shit. You know what I mean?
Well, heat is a form of radiation also. It's thermal radiation,
Right.
but it's just a different fucking band length of fucking radiation.
So there's got to be a way for that, because that superfluid helium, becomes a fluid at a certain temperature. I don't know what it was. And I mean, I'd look it up actually, see if it's 2.7 degrees Kelvin.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
2.7.
That's the
pretty much the background.
Yeah, that's the background microwave radiation of the universe.
I don't have my phone. Damn it!
Shit, you got yours?
I just put it on the charger.
Yours in the truck. Oh, damn, we got a phone. Mine's recording. That's the only reason why I haven't looked on mine.
Wow.
What am I looking at?
Let me see it.
Superfluid. You were trying to find the actual temperature Kelvin that the superfluid actually fucking reaches. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like, what is the temperature it has to be at for it to become a superfluid?
Oh.
What temperature does helium become a superfluid? Researchers.
I feel like I'm fucking
Superfluid.
starting to trip really fucking super duper hard.
Look, a remarkable transition occurs in the properties of liquid helium at the temperature of 2.17 Kelvin.
2.17?
Yeah, called the lambda point for helium. Part of the liquid becomes a superfluid, a zero viscosity fluid, which will move rapidly through any pore in any apparatus. So it basically becomes light with a mass. You know what I mean? It flows through any.
That's what it's always going to come back to, dude.
Yeah, but we have to connect that somehow to the higher dimension, because that dimension is immersed in this.
Yeah, but just like you were saying earlier, maybe it's fucking hydrogen, helium, lithium, or what's the majority fucking elements in the other fucking dimensions. But it goes right back to
You
fucking.
should be able to build it from there, though, right?
I mean, it goes back to it's exactly that's the most fucking abundant elements in our universe. You know what I mean?
Right. It's the opposite. But the opposite. So maybe that's the fucking universe that balances out ours. Maybe that's the dimension that balances ours out. It's getting pretty intense right now talking about it.
Yeah.
So
That's what the shit's here for. Though it's fucking.
yeah, it's getting real intense right
It's
now.
a
dude.
validity test.
That's exactly what it is. is the fifth dimension is the one that balances ours out. But their periodic table is fucking starts with helium, not fucking hydrogen.
Maybe. If
No,
helium,
I'm positive.
if helium,
And that, if we, and that would that
is the
that,
only
that
element.
accounts.
If helium in our universe, in our universe, if helium's the only element that reaches superfluid,
So maybe hydrogen is the element in theirs that would reach it, and that's why it's so. That's why hydrogen is the number one element in ours, because all their hydrogen is leaking through to our dimension, and our helium is leaking through to theirs.
so it would,
It's balancing out.
Balancing it out.
but it would appear to the other one that it's
That's the most abundant, but it's not.
all right.
Helium is the most abundant in their universe, not hydrogen, and vice versa.
To put out what the other one needs.
Dude, we got it. We got to figure out how to fucking prove it now.
They
God
literally
damn.
put out what the other one needs and it seeps through and it helps counterbalance it.
So how do we link gravity to that? So light would be the white holes would be their black holes.
It would literally be the exact opposite.
This is getting real intense right now,
It
dude.
would have to be the exact opposite. There's just a shooting star.
Dude, we're about to figure this shit out.
On the other side,
Yeah, it's exact.
on the other side of the black hole,
The white hole is their black hole,
right,
and our black hole is their white hole.
right.
So all of their energy comes to us, and all of our energy goes to them.
They literally give out what the other one needs.
It's
But
cycles.
see, at that rate though, it would be the universes would be the same technically if they were recycling each other. You know what I mean?
Not if the elements would. Well, I mean, I guess.
If you look at it as a black hole, the other side of a black hole,
Right.
you know what I mean? Then you're just recycling the same elements.
Just the two dimensions.
Right.
So I mean that I'm sure that's why gravity is weaker. I mean it's up to 12 dimensions. You know what I mean? That's why gravity is so much weaker than the other forces by energy, in terms of
Right,
energy.
right.
You know what I mean? And if we can add up all 12 dimensions and make it equal light, make it equal, balance out light,
Yeah.
then that's how we're going to figure it out. That's how we're going to be able to test it. That's how we're going to be able to prove it.
Shooting star.
Yeah.
The second one in like what, a minute?
There's supposed to be a meteor shower basically for like a whole month.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I've been trying to tell you kind of is if we can figure out how much if gravity is a constant in all dimensions and we can equal it out to light.
Right. That's the goal. Because that's the goal.
But how much
Some shape,
gravity
form, or fashion.
well, it would be the same then. If gravity is a constant, then it would be the same throughout all the universes. But I think we would need Newton's law for that because he deals on a large scale. We can't use Yeah, we're fucking onto something like big right now. Like we got shooting stars and shit going on.
The
There's
whole
fucking-
world's fucking waving around right
Dude,
now.
we're about to fucking go to another dimension and go back. Watch. Something crazy is about to happen tonight, dude. Been telling
The whole world's fucking
It's about to fucking reverse.
the whole fucking world's fucking waving around right now.
I've been telling Miranda all night something fucking crazy is going on, dude.
Even trees, dude. That's how I always know.
Yeah.
They started doing it a minute ago.
We need to keep our train of thought though. I got all this shit. It's all on video. So let me